What's going on YouTube? A while back I made a video with tips for new PC builders. If you haven't seen it yet, click on the video within this video to see it, or look in the description for a link. But now that I'm much more experienced in the art of PC building, I'll share with you some important tips that have helped me through all my PC builds. These tips are mostly for those looking to build their first PC, but there are some great takeaways for experienced PC builders as well. Tip number 1 is to have realistic expectations with extreme overclocking. Buying products with extreme overclocking in mind doesn't necessarily translate into better gaming performance. A lot of factors go into play as to whether extreme overclocking will give you more frames per second. Some of these factors are how well optimized the game is, whether the game favors NVIDIA or AMD architecture, and whether you're using SLI or Crossfire. CPUs are extremely guilty of not improving performance with extreme clock speeds because as of right now, very few games are optimized to take advantage of multiple cores. Higher GPU clock speeds generally scale with synthetic benchmarks like Firestrike, but actual in-game performance can vary heavily. For example, I broke 1300 MHz on my GTX 780 SLI when I put them in my water cooling loop, but it only gave me about 10 frames per second more compared to when I was running them at 1150 MHz. Unless you're using a small form factor case, I recommend everyone at least overclock their GPU, but you should have realistic expectations when buying overclock or extreme versions of graphics cards or motherboards. Speaking of small form factor cases, this segues into my next point. Tip number 2, for your first build, use a mid-sized gaming case. Compact gaming PC builds are becoming a lot more popular lately, especially with Steam machines entering the gaming market. However, if you are building your first PC, I highly recommend you use a mid-sized case. These cases are much easier to work with, they give better cooling, and the price differential isn't going to be a deal breaker. Most mid-sized cases have similar layouts, so you can easily follow a gaming PC build guide even if you aren't using the same case. Many MITX cases, however, have different internals. Some have the power supply side-mounted, some have it mounted from the top panel, some use a side-mounted motherboard, others may place the motherboard on the bottom. By using a compact case, you also have a very strong limitation on what upgrades you can get for it. You don't have much more room for another graphics card, sound card, or high-performance cooling. To really make your first PC building experience go a lot more smoothly, you should at least use a mid-sized case. If you still feel you want to go for a more slim and compact build, you can transfer most of your components to a smaller case in the future. Tip number 3 is to buy everything at once. A lot of people plan their builds months ahead of time because they are saving up, and that's great in and of itself. But what's not so great is buying components in small increments. Buying components before your build is ready is always a gamble. Sure, the price might seem tempting right now, but you're also disqualifying yourself from participating in future potential sales. Also, if you buy your components too early and something is dead on arrival, your return period may expire. Lastly, an upgraded version of the component you purchased may be released before you even had a chance to use it in a rig, which brings me to my next point. Tip number 4, equipment loses its value over time. Get over it. A lot of prospective builders always ask, is this PC going to last for 5 years? How soon should I upgrade? New technology emerges all the time. Less than a month after I finished my water cooling build with my GTX 780s, the GTX 780 Ti was announced. To maintain high graphical settings in games, you will have to upgrade your components. How often you upgrade is entirely dependent on personal preference for graphical quality. The last tip I have for this video is to get your information from different sources. Each PC builder has their own perspectives and preferences. Some build PCs only for the enthusiast thrill and then play graphically underwhelming games like League of Legends or CSGO. Others actually play graphically demanding games and their PC builds will be conducive to high-level performance, but they lack the fluff of the enthusiast-only builds. Some builders belong to both groups, but I consider myself to be somewhere in between the two. I have done extreme enthusiast things before, but I also do play very demanding games. You should also look to different review sites for benchmarks. If you are on YouTube and interested in PC building, then I probably don't have to tell you about Linus Tech Tips. In short, the more sources you get your PC component reviews from, the better idea you will have about what you will need to do. Thank you very much for watching this video all the way through. Leave a like rating if I was informative and helpful in your PC building experience. My name is David and I will see you next video.